Hello, hello, I'm the official name rater. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today we're looking at Purrloin and Liepard, and Linda is apparently Google's top choice. Now, although I understand the reasoning for this, I don't think I would really argue with it, because I think the fact of Liepard and Purrloin being a dark type cat is enough reason to just kind of dismiss it. And thinking about it, we don't really have a true black cat Pokemon. We used to back in Gen 2, and that Pokemon was literally the cutest fucking thing, and I'm so upset that we did not get it. But I'm all for this little combination of nicknames. My parents actually have two black cats, Salem and Matilda, so yeah, that works. Salem, I feel, is gonna stand out a bit more because, I mean, firstly, it's not a name you really see often. Like, you think Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but like, how many other Salems have you met in real life? You don't. And then, I can't really speak on these because I haven't seen them, but also Surprise and Misfortune, like, those are two, I've never seen Surprise before, but those are two little wordplay things that I'm fine with as well, so worth acknowledging. Def Leopard is a good choice. You're not going to get anything better for that. If you want to name a Pokemon after Def Leopard, this is the one. If you put it on Meowth, you will be fired out of a cannon into the sun. This is the one. Def Leopard. Perfect. So I don't get this at all. I don't Star Trek either, but that's what Google came up with Star Trek. So if this means anything to any Star Trek nerds out there, you can tell me whether or not this is a good nickname. I do want to talk about Klepto for just a second. I actually planned on, because I have this written down. Klepto for Mandibuzz, because of Mario. So I like the idea of Klepto for Mandibuzz. But it also works and could be applicable to things like Thievul or, I guess, Purrloin as well, for the sake of the sticky fingers stealing nature. So, I get that, but I like it on I like it on Mandibuzz. Hey, fun fact for you, Selena Kyle fits. Selena itself is 6 characters, putting Kyle is 4 characters. You could fit that inside of games before the character limit increase. I don't know when they upped it, but you could go full Selena Kyle. You could go Catwoman. I believe we've talked about Jungle Book before on this channel and how I just in general was not a fan of it or anything like that. So the name itself didn't stand out to me, but the Jungle Book. The Jungle Book. I think the last time I saw even the slightest portion of it was maybe 7, 8 years ago, maybe 9. And I sure shit didn't watch all of it. I went to sleep. Peril is fine as a generic Bayonetta Binding of Isaac style nickname. You could apply that to a lot of Pokemon. It works. Also, with the new Bayonetta 3 coming out, I'm excited to see what sort of silly names they use for the enemies in there, and then I can have more things like that. And because it's relevant, Greed is on the same wavelength, but again, we could also apply this one to Thievul as well if you wanted to. It doesn't really matter for Mandibuzz, but it will work for Thievul. And then above that, we got Cheshire. I know we talked about Cheshire before. I believe we talked about it for Gengar, and I feel like maybe Meowth or Persian. I'm not sure, but I know we talked about it for Gengar. If that's your dig, sure, but I don't necessarily think it's going to fit Purrloin. Whenever we saw it before, I know we talked about it in the past, but there's better places for it. Today on the Plagiarism Raider, that's for whatever reason difficult to say, we have Paraswipe, which I fucking hate, Paralysis, which I actually don't necessarily mind. I just think that is a much better choice for a electric cat. Raikou! There you go. There's a Raikou nickname for you, because that's a cat. It's a cat! It is a saber-toothed tiger. It's a cat. I don't really think it has shit to do with Purrloin, though. Hunter's dumb, Wildcat is done, and here is the great plagiarism. And it's funny, because I actually thought about this. I saw it on Pokemon.net. I considered talking about it, and I was like, you know what? I got this funny feeling that if we come across the Tumblr idiot, it's going to be right there, too. I just checked, alright? October 30th, 2015. July 24th, 2013. I also want to highlight the description real quick. Just take a small look and see that it's basically the same fucking description. So not only did he steal the nickname, he went for the fucking description too, and then said, I thought of something sinister. I did it. Me. My idea. Not this thing that's literally on the fucking top of Google. I did it. Fuck you. I scrolled down just a little bit just to see if he'd explain some of these, and he doesn't. Kill a Kill. I don't animate, but I recognize the name of it just as existing, so if that means anything to you, there's an idea for you. Fancy Pants, I think, is kind of funny, actually. Going off this little paragraph, Scratchy, he doesn't outright say it, but I think it's a safe assumption since we're going to call it a black cat, even though it's technically purple. The Simpsons. And then Skittles, which we've talked about before, and that was my personal choice for Delcatty, Skitty Delcatty. Is it generic and kind of uninspired? Yes, I took it from Prince Boo. Go yell at him. And even if you don't want to use it for Purrloin, there's plenty of other choices you could put Skittles to that I think would fit even better. Minotaur is a good choice that comes to mind as well as just any other random colorful Pokemon you could think of. That was the first thing I could think of. I really like the idea of Deep Purple. I don't think it fucking matters if it's a male or not. I don't see why that would matter. Those are two words. They have no gender. It has fuck all to do with anything. Deep Purple is a cool idea. There's another band for you. Okay, so I just had this idea while reading this. Your choice whether or not you think it's any good. The only thing I can think of is Liepard plus purple. And when I think of that, I think of Justin Bailey. Shit! Wait, that will fit, will it? I think it'll just barely fit. I'm pretty sure it's 12 characters exactly. So if you want to do a Metroid reference in a really weird way that's only involving purple and like zero green. I thought there was just a picture of Purrloin. There's a picture of Purrloin. There's an idea for you. I just thought it up just now. Is it great? Nah. But it's an idea. Okay, we've reached the bottom. I think, honestly, this turned out better than the last two. It certainly turned out better than, Stoutland for sure. This was a bunch of nothing. Like, it had a few ideas that were basically like, well, what if you just took the original Pokemon's name, modified it the smallest bit, and called it a day? What if you named your cat Butter? Yes, that is seriously a thing it said on there. Anyway, spreadsheet. Pilfer, get it? Like pilfer. Shut the fuck up. Okay. Comment suggestions. Now, this one took me a minute. I asked my brother because he does the Yu-Gi-Oh! And I don't do that anymore. And I had to look it up as well because I was like, what's the connection? And the connection, I believe, is just he has a cat and has little marks on his face. So that's fine, I guess. If that's your dig, sure. Other words, I don't necessarily draw too much connection otherwise. And then Mask, which when I see it, I realize you could go further a little bit. Ace Attorney fans, Mask da Mask. Ho ho ho! And guess what? It'll fit that character limit because that is 12. And then Claws, another boss from Knights. I don't Knights, but we've had other Knight suggestions from Chaotic, so. Going over though, the ones that I liked and thought were good were most definitely Deep Purple and Def Leopard. Those I really like. I enjoy band names. I'm a sucker. And I mean, Def Leopard, you could do Def Liepard if you want to play in that joke a little bit. That's fine too. And then even though it's not technically a black cat, Salem works. And just in case someone says it, because I meant to say it earlier, I don't consider a Lowland Persian a black cat either. A Lowland Persian is like gray light blue, so I'm not counting that at all. But one that I saw in a previous thread that I actually really liked and I thought fit very well also kind of plays into the Selena Kyle Catwoman thing, Cat Burglar. I like that. I think that's clever. I think that works. I think that makes a nice alternative to it. And then I suppose if you want to, Black Cat, but I'm not sure that's going to translate nearly as well as Catwoman would. So other ideas for you, but Cat Burglar is the one that I saw and I was like, I like this. This is cute. And it plays with the typing as well and just, yeah, in general. But you know what? I still miss that Cat Bell from fucking the Space World Johto. That, you know, that Pokemon would have been so many people's favorites. It was so fucking cute. Anyway, now I have done the name rating, and it is your turn to add more contributions and let other people experience the rating of the names in the comments below by telling us what you've used, what you think would be a good idea, what you would recommend, giving a thumbs up so this way all the good nicknames can be organized in terms of popularity, or maybe someone wants to hit the most recent tab if they're feeling saucy. Oh, one more thing. If you just have generic cat-based nicknames, consider those as well, because I know Meow Mix was one I used for, what's it called? Purugly. So if you still want a little bit further help, generic cat names are a good idea. You could also check out the Meowth Persian Purugly episodes, because those are cats. I'd also like to do one day a team of Pokemon just based off of cats, and that's it. Like, I like the idea of weird concepts for teams, and that's kind of one thing I hate about the competitive scene, is nobody has any fucking creativity. I want to go and fuck up your stupid Rayquaza with nothing but cats. That's what I want to do. And then a dog team as well. That'd be fun.